Hey guys, it's Ken from A Taste of Home Cake Crate. I'm in the process of baking and packaging up this month's crate, March's crate. So I thought I would share with you really my process for making the cake pops. This month's cake pop is called my Irish Trifecta. It is a Guinness chocolate cake and it's going to be dipped in a whiskey chocolate ganache, and then as well as an Irish cream flavored white chocolate. So it'll be super tasty and super St. Patrick-y, and I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. So now I'm gonna be adding in my eggs and a little bit more water, and the special ingredient, the Guinness, is going into the mix. Put a nice, decent amount in. You wanna make sure that you get the flavor that you want. Gotta give that a minute to sort of clear the head a little bit. Nah, they don't need to. It'll be fine. I'm gonna just mix that up a bit with the eggs. I actually break up my eggs and mix them all up first instead of adding one at a time, because it makes it a lot easier to mix in and a little bit faster too, less messy. All right, and there's our batter. Almost done. So we're gonna let these cool, and then we're gonna make our cake pop dough. You can smell the Guinness. Yummy. All right, so we're ready to make some dough. Gonna take this and basically just break it all up. And once it's all crumbled up, we're gonna add a little bit of buttercream to it just to help it stick together. And then we'll roll our pops. come back in just a couple minutes. So there's my dough. The dough is the Guinness chocolate cake. I added some vanilla buttercream to it and just mixed it all in really well. I'm gonna wrap it up now and let it sit for about an hour before I actually roll the cake pops. So we'll see you in a bit. All right, so it's time to start rolling these cake pops. I got my handy dandy ice cream scoop here, and we're gonna get started. I hand roll each one of these every month. Boop. I use the ice cream scoop so they're always the same size. So the pops are rolled. Next step is I'm gonna stick them, and I'm gonna do that off camera. But then when I come back, we will be ready to make the whiskey chocolate ganache for dipping. See you in a bit. Okay, so the cake pops are rolled and the sticks are in them, and I'll show you those a little bit later. Right now it's time to start our whiskey chocolate ganache. And what I have here is some semi-sweet chocolate, and the wet stuff in it is honey that I mixed with it. And then we got some nice cream that we use to make the ganache, and the special ingredient, that's some nice bourbon whiskey that's gonna get added as well. This is going to be the underlying layer for the cake pops. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes when we're ready to mix it all together. Okay, so the cream is sitting, the whiskey's already been added to it because you want it to cook a little bit to cook some of that alcohol off. And it's probably just a few minutes, not even a few minutes, it's probably maybe 15-20 seconds away from starting to boil. And you always have to watch it because it'll very quickly rise up and boil over. All right, so it's starting to boil, and you'll see it's going to start rising up in just a second. And that's when I take it off. I let it start rising to keep it up, get it nice and hot. All right, I'm going to come over here, and we're going to dump it into the chocolate. And we're gonna let that sit. I actually made more of the cream than I needed, but that's okay. So we're gonna let that sit, and that's gonna melt the chocolate pretty nicely. We're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been sitting for a few minutes. So now we're just gonna stir it up. I'm looking to get a nice thin chocolate that I can use to coat the cake pops, but it's not gonna be so thick that it makes the cake pops so big, because we still have the other layer of white chocolate that's going to go on top of it. All right, so this is the finished ganache. You can see it's nice and thin. That'll be nice. So we're gonna dip all the cake pops in this, and then we're gonna chill them to harden the chocolate up. So when we dip it in the white chocolate, it's all nice and stays together. So we'll check you back in a couple minutes, and I'll be ready to dip. Okay, so we're ready to dip. I'm gonna show you a couple of these. So we got the cake pops all rolled, got the sticks inside, and we're just gonna give them a little dipple-do. I don't know what that meant, but I said it. Shake off some of the excess. Give it a little bit of tap. Tap, 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 tap. So, like I said, I just want a thin coating on this. Just like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it upside down on this tray, because I'm gonna be refrigerating them to chill them. It's a lot easier to do upside down. So I'm gonna do the rest of them and then we'll check back a little bit later. So cake pops are all dipped in the whiskey ganache. These are gonna go chill in the fridge for a few hours. They probably don't need that long, but you know, we're gonna give them the time it needs. So we'll come back a little bit later when we're ready to dip in the chocolate. Okay, so the ganache is, the pops have been dipped in the ganache, and they just actually were in the freezer for a little bit to try to get them kind of hard. So hopefully when I dip, they do okay. They don't melt or anything like that. But this is white chocolate flavored with an Irish cream flavoring. I did not use actual Irish cream just because there'd be no way to cook the alcohol out of the chocolate, and I don't want to do that. I don't want any actual alcohol in it. The other things, the Guinness and the whiskey, were all cooked out. This way your kids can have it. They may not like the bold flavors, but at least they can have it and you're not worried about anything. So, like that. And then we're gonna just finish it off with a little bit of sprinkles. And because they're a little bit frozen already, they're gonna set really quick. So then I'm not gonna get as many sprinkles on it as I'd probably like, or I have to work real fast. So I'm gonna do the rest of them, and we'll show you when we're all done. All right, cool. All right, so here's the finished cake pops. They look pretty good. They're actually a little bigger than they normally are because I double dipped them, once in the ganache and then the Irish cream buttercream. And then the last thing I do is they get bagged and tagged. And they'll get packaged up today and shipped out tomorrow. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these great cake pops, and even more so, I hope that you're getting this month's cake crate. It's going to be awesome. If you're not, you can obviously order for next month because that one's going to be great too. You can go to mycakecrate.com, and I really hope to be sending you something soon. Thanks a lot.